everyone. Welcome to this episode of Beyond Max Q. I'm Mollie Jahner, your host. Today, I have the privilege of introducing you to two of the most amazing women, who's Malory McLemore, who is the founder and CEO of Stell Engineering, and Laura Ahmetaj, who is graduated from HBS as well, and also all things engineering.
Once you're at Harvard Business School, you've applied, you've told this story about I said that I wanted to go be a management consultant, mostly because I wanted exposure to more industries, but I was passionate about aerospace. I think I wanted to be like Marilyn Houston. I wanted to be CEO of Lockheed Martin. That was my stated goal going into HBS. And I think once I got there, that got a little bit more nuanced and personal. And the biggest advice I can have is that at business school, at Harvard, or wherever you attend, you're in a class of 700, and it made me realize, like, what is my personal story? Like, what has been unique about my background? I would say before you go to business school, like, go do something weird and unique, and dedicate 5 years to working really hard on it. And if you want to found a company, the ideas will come from your time trying to do that hard thing. And that's really where the inspiration from Stell came from. And then my second year of HBS, I was very lost, but I knew I could start putting the pieces together. I interned at Anduril because I wanted to see what is the best startup in that sector look like. I want to go learn from them. I took a product management course because I knew that if I built a software company, product would be the most important thing to actually differentiating and winning versus being able to code. So I think business school and kind of pivoting out of the engineer or whatever role you were in before, it's all about connecting with the journey you've been on and finding that unique thing that you can't stop thinking about. And that's kind of how you know where you're headed next.
Ooh, I think like less like big grand career advice and more of like day-to-day work advice or like even job hunting advice. I think for me, I had no idea what like networking was, and I hate using that word. Like again, I had no contacts in corporate America, let alone in aerospace, let alone friends even in undergrad that went to like go do business school. And I feel like for me, had I if somebody coached me about this sooner, maybe like I would have made different decisions, still no regrets. But I think just like going out and like when you're interviewing for jobs, I think when you're younger, you're just like so excited to get a job and you'll just take anything. So you're like, I just want a job. And that's how it was for me. Also, like my parents were basically like I had to go fund my own life after undergrad, right? And I was like, how do I fund that life? I need to find a job. And at that point, you kind of don't really care. And I think it's like fine for your first job, because you don't even know what you want to do. But I think there comes more nuance in like the rest of your life where it's not about just like getting picked for a job. It's like you have your own passions and you get to decide. And I think it's more, I think learning how to pressure test like your interviewers, just asking them more about like what the culture's like, understanding, hey, I actually really value working on teams. And some cultures are everyone's very individual workers. They don't care for collaboration as much. They just like want to do their own thing. And like that's fine. There is no right or wrong thing. There's nothing that makes you better or worse. I think you just have environments in which you thrive in. And I think like learning that and knowing how to ask questions for that, and also knowing how to ask managers about leadership styles. So if you are someone that likes things to be more clear and concrete and direct, like figuring out how to ask about those questions before you sign up for a job, or just meeting a handful of people on the team, being like, oh, our personalities really get along. Like maybe you aren't very headstrong, right? And you like to be somewhere in a team where like you don't have to, you're with other people that can make decisions faster than you, whatever it is. Like I think there's like a team altogether, I think solves every single weak point. I don't think one person needs to have every single skill. But understanding like where you would fit, where your place would be, and like going through and asking more people about what it's like working here and just getting more of an insight before you get into a job, I think was something I had no idea how to do when I was younger. And then now I like know more picky, or like, and also like just trust your gut for whatever reason. Like be like, hey, I think this work is really cool, but I just think I might not be like a fit for whatever reason. Like there will be something else. Like I think it's better to pick a job, like be really happy with something you're gonna sit in for a year instead of postponing that new job for like a month, instead of just like sit in something that you didn't love. Because I think even when I was changing jobs in Northrop, it took me a while to learn how to do this. My last team at Northrop, I love them so much, and I kind of went through this process with them, and I stayed with them for 2 years, and I almost didn't want to go to business school because I really enjoyed working with them so much. And it was like very emotional for me to leave. But I think just like learning how to do all of that, I think is like
Yeah.
really helpful.
I think HBS too, you're reading 1,000 cases about companies and teams. So that gives you that framework of like, no team is good or bad. It's just what are its traits and like, is that a good match
Mhm.
for the things I've done before? And it makes it feel a little less high stakes and you're able to kind of evaluate and be more objective for yourself.